Have you ever wondered what secrets a continent holds beneath its vast skies? We often think of Africa in terms of its sweeping savannas, its dense jungles, its sun-drenched deserts. We know the names of its giants: the Nile, the Congo, the Niger. These are the rivers of history books, the arteries that have nourished civilizations for millennia. But what if I told you there's another story, a quieter one, whispered by countless other rivers? These are the hidden waterways, the secret lifelines flowing through valleys, mountains largely unseen by the outside world. They are Africa's whispering giants, and they hold a power that could change everything for millions. They are powerful, year-round rivers with names you may have never heard: Ogowe in Gabon, Rufiji in Tanzania. They carve their paths through some of the most remote and beautiful landscapes on Earth, carrying with them more than just water. They carry the potential for light, for progress, and for a new kind of future, one that is powered not by fossil fuels but by the clean, rhythmic pulse of flowing water. This is the great untold story of Africa's energy revolution, a story that begins not in a boardroom, but in the quiet, steady flow of 1,000 hidden currents. When we picture Africa's rivers, our minds immediately conjure images of the legendary Nile, a ribbon of life stretching across the Sahara, its history woven into the very fabric of ancient Egypt. We think of the mighty Congo River, a colossal force of nature plunging through the heart of the continent, its brown waters churning with untamed power. Or perhaps we envision the Niger River, a vital lifeline for countless communities. These rivers are magnificent, iconic, and rightfully famous. They are the continent's superhighways of water, shaping landscapes and cultures in their path and deserving of their legendary status. But Africa is a continent of staggering diversity, its geography far more complex and varied than we often imagine. For every world-famous river, there are hundreds of others, flowing with quiet persistence. Think of the Sanaga River in Cameroon, the Volta River system in Ghana, the Zambezi, home to Victoria Falls. These are the next tier of giants, but the story goes even deeper, into the truly hidden waterways that are just now stepping into the spotlight. These lesser-known rivers are special, like the highlands of Ethiopia or the Great Rift Valley, where the water flows fast and steep. This is perfect for generating hydropower. They are nature's own batteries, storing a vast reserve of kinetic energy, revealing a decentralized network of potential power sources spread across the continent. So, how does a simple flowing river become a source of light and energy that can power a city? The concept is surprisingly simple and beautifully elegant. It's called hydropower, one of the oldest, cleanest ways to make electricity. It all starts with harnessing the natural downward flow of a river. Imagine building a wall, a dam, across that river. The dam holds the water back, and it builds up behind the wall into a large lake, a reservoir. That reservoir is more than water, it's stored energy, a massive battery powered by gravity. The magic happens when you let that water move. Dams have gates and tunnels called penstocks near the base. Open the gates, and the reservoir's pressure forces water through the tunnels at high speed. Like squeezing the end of a garden hose, the water shoots out with far more force. That jet hits a giant wheel, a turbine. The water striking the blades makes the turbine spin extremely fast. The spinning is where change happens. A shaft links the turbine to a generator. Inside the generator, the shaft moves large magnets past coils of copper wire. That motion creates a magnetic field, which excites electrons in the copper and gets them moving. Moving electrons equals electricity. From falling water, we create an electrical current ready to power the world. The water, having done its job, flows out and continues downstream, unharmed. To truly grasp why these hidden rivers are so important, we must first understand the scale of Africa's energy challenge. It's a reality that can be difficult to imagine for those of us who live with electricity at the flip of a switch. For hundreds of millions of people across the continent, life begins when the sun rises. Life grinds to a halt when it sets. It is a world without reliable light, without refrigeration to keep food and medicine safe, without the power needed to run modern businesses or factories. This isn't an inconvenience, it's a fundamental barrier to progress. It's a barrier to health. It's a barrier to prosperity. This situation is often called energy poverty. Today in 2025, more than 500 million people in sub-Saharan Africa still live without access to electricity. That's more than the entire population of the United States and the European Union combined. Imagine hospitals where doctors perform emergency surgery by the light of a mobile phone. Imagine children who cannot do their homework after dark because their only light source is a smoky, dangerous kerosene lamp. This is the daily reality in countless communities. A reality that limits human potential and holds back entire economies from taking flight. Without electricity, industries cannot grow, which means fewer jobs are created. Without reliable power for irrigation pumps, farmers struggle to grow enough food, making communities vulnerable to drought and food insecurity. Schools with no electricity cannot use modern educational tools like computers, putting the next generation at a disadvantage. This is why the quest for sustainable energy in Africa is not just an environmental issue. It is a human development imperative. Faced with such a daunting energy challenge, Africa stands at a crossroads. One path leads towards a greater reliance on fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. Now this route might seem quick, but honestly, it's a dead end. It contributes to global climate change, which unfortunately disproportionately harms African nations through more extreme droughts and floods. It also creates pollution that damages public health and can be subject to, volatile global prices. The other path, however, leads to a cleaner, more sustainable future, one powered by the continent's abundant renewable resources. And among these, hydropower stands out for its unique and powerful advantages. The first great promise of hydropower is its cleanliness. Unlike power plants that burn fossil fuels, hydropower facilities produce virtually no greenhouse gas emissions. They don't release smoke, soot, or other harmful pollutants into the air. This is crucial for a continent that is already on the front lines of climate change. By choosing to develop its rivers, Africa can power its growth without contributing to the climate crisis. The second key advantage is reliability. The sun doesn't always shine and the wind doesn't always blow. A river, on the other hand, flows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hydropower provides what is known as baseload power, a constant, steady, and predictable supply of electricity that can form the backbone of a national grid. Hydropower plants are also incredibly durable. It's an investment in energy security and economic stability for decades to come. The idea of harnessing Africa's secret rivers is not just a dream, it's already happening. Across the continent, engineers, governments, and communities are drawing up blueprints and breaking ground, turning water into light. These are not the mega dams of old, but often smaller, more strategic projects designed to fit their local environment and serve the communities around them. In Ethiopia, a country known as the Water Tower of Africa, projects on rivers like the Omo are already generating significant power, turning the nation into a regional energy hub. One of the most inspiring examples is the work being done on the Sanaga River in Cameroon. This powerful river has long been the lifeblood of the nation, and now it is becoming its powerhouse. The Nachtigal hydropower project is a perfect illustration of this new wave of development. When complete, it will add a massive amount of clean electricity to Cameroon's grid, enough to power hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses. This project is more than just concrete and turbines. It's a symbol of progress, promising to reduce power outages, lower energy costs, and create jobs, all while using a clean homegrown resource. Further south, in countries like Uganda and Tanzania, smaller-scale hydropower projects are making a huge difference. Mini hydro, pico hydro. The true measure of these projects isn't found in megawatts or voltage, but in the human stories. On the banks of these newly awakened rivers, a quiet revolution is unfolding, one family, one business, one child at a time. Imagine a shopkeeper named Fatima in a small town in rural Cameroon. For years, her business day ended at sunset. She sold perishable goods that often spoiled in the heat. Now, with reliable electricity from a new local hydropower project, her shop is lit up at night, welcoming customers late into the evening. She has a refrigerator so her food stays fresh, reducing waste and increasing her profits. For Fatima, electricity isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline for her family's prosperity. Think of a young student named Samuel, in a village in western Uganda. His evenings used to be spent in the dim, flickering light of a single candle, making it difficult to read his textbooks and complete his homework. His grades suffered, and his dreams felt distant. But now his home is lit by a single bright electric bulb powered by a small hydro plant on a nearby river. He can study for as long as he needs to, his world of knowledge expanding beyond the setting sun. For Samuel, that simple bulb is a beacon of opportunity, illuminating his path to a better education and a brighter future. In a Tanzanian village that now has power from a mini hydro installation, the local health clinic can operate 24/7. As we stand here today, on the cusp of a new era, the sound we hear is not just the rushing of water, it is the sound of progress. It is the hum of a continent awakening to its own immense natural power. The secret rivers of Africa, for so long hidden in plain sight, are now revealing themselves as the architects of a brighter, greener future. They offer a pathway out of energy poverty that is clean, reliable, homegrown. The Nile, the Congo may have written the first chapters of Africa's story, but these countless other rivers are writing the next, and it is a story of hope and empowerment. This is not a distant dream. It is a tangible reality taking shape right now, from the highlands of Ethiopia to the forests of Cameroon. Every new turbine that starts to spin, every new village that lights up for the first time, is a testament to this unfolding revolution. The energy generated by these rivers will do more than just power light bulbs. It will power economic growth, create jobs, improve healthcare, provide children with the tools they need to succeed in a modern world.